Hi, I'm Anna. I've just finished my degree here at Queen's College and I'm just going to take you on a little tour around and show you some of the cool things about being a student here. Let's go. So we're currently on the light side of college. We're walking across the round right now. But luckily, as we're a riverside college, we're actually across the river, and so we've got two sides to college. I'm about to take you across the famous mathematical bridge, and we're going to head to the dark side where there's some cooler architecture to have a little look at. Now, being on the river, we also have the perks of having our own punts. So these are the strange boats that have the long poles that go across the river. It's a really cool way to relax with friends and celebrate, especially after exams in the summer term like this. Also very funny to watch the tourist punters go by. That could be quite entertaining. We're now entering Cloister Court, one of the prettier courts here in Queen's. There's no student accommodation here, but we do have our President's Lodge that wraps around here, some really nice old architecture. And in the summer, this grass, which is usually not allowed to be touched because it's a famous Cambridge grass, is used for a Shakespeare play, which is another really cool aspect of student life. It's not just about your degree. You can also get involved in all sorts like theatre, sports or music. If you keep following me, we're going to head round to the left first through a quite low doorway, so be careful if you're tall. And here we are in Walnut Tree Court, named for the walnut tree that is just over there. We've got some lovely fellows rooms down the back here. So a fellow is an academic at this college. So you may have some supervisions in there, which are the small group teaching between 1 to 3 of you, where you might go over some work, you might read through an essay. So it's really cool that some of our learning happens right here on site at Queen's. Behind me, you've got the chapel. It's a really beautiful building that we'll hopefully have a quick look in a bit, but it's an absolutely amazing space used for both worship and also other activities like silent discos or music recitals. So we really do take advantage of all of the space. Now, if you follow me this way, we can have a look at some of our student accommodation buildings. We're very lucky at Queen's to be so central, and a lot of our students stay on site for at least 2 years in some really cool buildings. So as we enter what we call Friars Court, you can see 3 main different buildings, and these are all offered to students as accommodation. Round the corner here, we've got Docket Building. Now this has got a huge mix of private bathrooms, ensuite rooms and shared bathrooms as well. So there's a good option for everyone. Round here, we've got Friars Building. This is more shared bathrooms. It's a cheaper option, but the rooms are still lovely and large, and it's really got that old atmosphere inside, so it's very cool to be part of. And then above me right now, which you'll see in a little bit, is Erasmus Building, freshly renovated, and this is a really nice ensuite option for some people, typically occupied by 3rd years in this case. But what's even better about Erasmus Building is we've got an incredible lawn that you're actually allowed to stand on, which is brilliant. So a lot of colleges at Cambridge have lovely green spaces just for their college members, and we are no exception. We've got the wonderful Erasmus lawn here, which is our riverside lawn. So you can sit by the river, watch all the punters go past and forget about your studies for a little bit. And in the summer, after we've finished our years and our exams, we get to come and party out here as well. So we do study hard, but we also party hard. There's a thing called a May Ball, which is an overnight party that most colleges will host either once a year or once every 2 years. And this is where our main stage usually is. So it's a really nice space to get together and celebrate with friends after you've finished your exams. So as I've mentioned already, Queen's is really well placed in Cambridge. We've got an entrance through to town just over there, and it's literally a 5-minute walk to the nearest Sainsbury's. So very handy for all your student life needs. So we can get a closer view of the chapel up here. Again, really impressive architecture. And at the moment, if you listen closely, you might be able to hear the organ playing, which is another perk of living so close to such an amazing landscape. We're going to head past the library now, which is a core of the college. Being at quite an academic space, this is often where a lot of people will spend their time, and every college will have their own library. But don't worry, there's also lots of faculty libraries as well, and cafes that are really great to study in. So there's so many spaces that you can get together with friends and work on your different works. So even though the undergraduate term has finished for summer, we've still got people working hard in the library. The postgraduates are in there. Some people might be doing summer internships or academic work as well. So we won't head inside today, but this is a nice view of the outside. And we've got 3 floors in the Queen's Library. We've got our bottom floor, which is where most of our science books are, the middle mezzanine if you want an individual work desk to really lock in, and the top attic floor, which is really nice. And a great perk of that is because there's the bell right on top, you can count how many hours you've been there by when the bell chimes. So really nice special space, and I really recommend coming and have a closer look if you ever get the chance to. But come on now and we'll have a look at another really famous part of Queen's. So welcome to Old Court. This is probably, after Mathematical Bridge, the most famous part of Queen's and the oldest as well. So we were founded in 1448, which means we've got centuries of history here, and it's really cool, even as a science student, to appreciate what is around us. There's a few student rooms here, so that's really incredible that some students can actually stay in these spaces. But we've also got a lot of fellows offices, for example, your director of studies or your tutor, who are in charge of your academic and your pastoral support, respectively, may also be in here, so you may still get the opportunity to see inside. We've got another entrance to college here called Old Gate, which does get very attracted by tourists, but is another cool way to enter and exit college if you're off towards the Downing site or New Museum site, which is where a lot of the biology, maths, that kind of thing is held. Now, if we turn this way, my one fact as a STEM student is this crest that's been carved into the wall here is actually incorrect. If you have a closer look, the top left-hand corner should start with a white strip, then a red strip. So, you know, not that big of a mistake, but very interesting to think about as we walk past. But let's go have a look at Old Hall now. So a big perk of being at Cambridge and at Queen's is we're an old college, and so we've got some really incredible examples of older buildings, older decoration, and Old Hall is no exception. It's a really cool place where we have formal dinners, which are our fancy 3-course meals, where we dress up in lovely clothes and wear our academic gowns over the top. But they've also been used for many other things as well. We've had ballroom dancing, line dancing, barbershop quartets, silent discos, so we really do make advantage of the whole space. So really cool to have a look inside there. And now squeezing through here, we're not the biggest college by square footage, but we have some lovely little spaces. Here's Pump Court, which is mostly where we've got administrative buildings. So the tutorial office, the finance office, the IT support, they're all on site right here. So whatever support you need, we do have it on site, and it's really excellent. And you feel very supported the whole time. So yeah, really nice green space as well, as you can see. Definitely doesn't feel like a city right here. So unfortunately, that's it for the really pretty old architecture, but we've got some fabulous facilities on site at Queen's as well. As we head back over to the light side of college, I'll be able to point out some of the perks of being a Queen's student here. We're about to pass under Cripps Court now, which is one of the courts where most of our first year undergraduate students live. It's full of private bathrooms and ensuite rooms that are connected by small kitchenettes, so it's really easy to meet people on your first few days here. So in this corner down here of Cripps Court, we've got our health and wellbeing centre where they can support you in both mental and physical needs. It's a really nice space, and it's so close and on site, and makes it so much easier to get that support that you need as quickly as possible. And round to the left here, we've got our buttery, or our dining hall as we like to call it. This serves 3 meals a day, so breakfast, lunch and dinner, at a really reasonable price. You don't have to commit to catered or self-catered, but it is a really nice option to have. You can see it's very large because we have a lot of students here at Queen's. It's a really nice place to socialise with friends. I personally did most of my degree self-catered, but I still like to come here for brunch to celebrate with everyone. It's a really special place to be, and it's really nice and warm and open and fresh. We do also have other options for food and drink though, and as we're a part of the college, part of the university, it's all subsidised, so really good options if you don't fancy going into town. Just round the corner I'll take you to now is our cafe and bar space. I would say it's a real hub of Queen's and what makes us stand out as such a friendly social college. So at the moment we're in cafe mode here, QCAF as it's known to the students, and it's a place where I love to come study and then reward myself with a muffin or a cookie afterwards. But at night time it becomes our lovely bar. Again, subsidised drinks and lots of activities to be had here. So not only do we have our open mic nights or show the football, but also have things like karaoke and pub quizzes. So a really nice space to get together and be students and not just worry about our degree. Let's head on through and I can show you some of the other facilities like the sports and the music that we have on offer here. So this is Lion Court, our outside bar space. Really nice in the summer, as you can see right now. Luckily, we're not having the stereotypical English weather right now. But around me are lots of facilities that can be used. So we've got 2 squash courts through here, free to book. Next to it is the gym. We've got 2 different rooms, a cardio room and a weights room. So again, you can train right on site, don't need to go to the university gym. Our Fitzpatrick Hall is through there. That's our multi-purpose space where we can play badminton, but also have things like lecture series or theatre, which is a huge scene here at Queen's and Cambridge wider. And then down in that corner, we've got some music rooms. So we really do encourage people to explore more than just their degree. There's so much time that you have to really take on something new, and it really enriches your degree experience. Just to give you an idea of how great of a location Queen's is as well, I could tell you a little bit about what we're near to. So half an hour walk in that direction, you've got West Site, where you've got the sports centre, you've got the materials science, physics, chemical engineering, computer science buildings. About 5 minutes in that direction, you've got Sidgwick Site, which is home to all of our humanities subjects like history, law, modern and medieval languages, linguistics and classics. And then about 10-minute walk that way into town, you've got Downing Site and New Museum Site, where you've got a lot of other buildings like the biology departments, earth sciences, and other lectures as well. So it's a really nice space where you can get in any direction, there'll be something interesting to have a look at. So let's head back and I'll show you what you've missed. So as you will have seen as we've walked through, there are lots of smaller rooms that we haven't headed into. That's because there's extra spaces for studying or booking out for events, which is really excellent and a really fun way to be very close to the action. Now, in terms of accommodation, as I said, most first years are in these Cripps Court buildings here, which are really nice. They'll provide you with everything you need. You'll have your own bathroom facilities, bed, desk, lamp, extra chairs as well, and a lovely view of either into Queen's or outwards over the river. All of the rooms will have the basic facilities that you need, and if you want to discuss anything of finance or how to get accessibility requirements, you can also do that. We're really friendly and we're really trying to make sure that everyone is comfortable here at Queen's. That concludes our tour, so unless there's any questions, I'll let you guys go explore the rest of Cambridge.